Here is my 2026 LEGO MOC and MOD collection. Fair warning, this will be my final collection video, as I will no longer be posting any more updates on the collection, because this is going to be my final collection. No more trains, no more pieces of rolling. Okay, maybe some sort of rolling stock in the future, but not really in a collection video, but just more in episodes or lore drops or whatever. So let's start with whom I call Ned, because he doesn't have his own basis. He is based off an engine in real life, but he isn't meant to be the basis itself. If I remove the cab, I think you know which basis I'm referring to. I don't really know the name of the basis, but all I can just say is Fergus. Then I think that could put an image into your mind for some certain fans. Secondly, we have the Great Eastern Railway Y14 class. It used to be a Manning Wardle Saddle Tank 060, until I decided that I wanted a tender engine instead, and I'm glad that I chose a Great Eastern Railway Y14 class, also known as the LNER J15, simply because I kind of prefer it. Here's my LNER J70, also known as the Great Eastern Railway C53 class. The reason it's green is because, like I said, brown pieces are not only fragile, but I didn't really have enough of them to create a big brown wooden box. But if we're talking lore, the owner just wanted something new, something pizzazz, just so the engine could, bring some sort of life into the cities that she was going to be working in on her old tramway, which is now part of the Fairgrade and Millington Railway. Here's my LMS Black 5, the biggest engine that I will ever create, and I have created so far. I mean, I'm not making any more engines, but this is the largest engine, Black 5 class, or also known as the 5MT. Here is my BR Class 17. Its original rendition I wasn't really happy with, because it had the shape of a Class 17, but it wasn't really there. I think my overhaul was and I think my newest overhaul was much better. It actually looks somewhat like a Class 17. Here is my BR Class 07, which the shape itself and there are some things that give it a Class 07 vibe. However, of course, like all Class 07s, I don't think the top here is meant to be round. I think it's meant to be flat, right? Yeah, it was just kind of my style, and I honestly didn't really care at this point. If it looked like a Class 07 from far away, then it was a Class 07. Speaking of, here is my BR Class 76 electric engine, my first electric engine ever built. And I think you already know its backstory by watching the first episode of Engines of England. I recommend you go watch it, and anyone who have, I just want to know if you enjoyed it or not. Here is my LEGO 7642349XX mod. This was originally a Hogwarts Express from the LEGO set 76423. I think it was basically the newest Harry Potter Hogwarts Express. However, I updated it to be 7 studs wide, and I fixed the tender to make it longer, and now it actually looks like a 49XX. I mean, a little more. Here's my English Electric 040. Its pantographs aren't really meant to be like that, and I don't really know if the class is literally called an English Electric 040, but whenever I search that up, that's what I get in this star. These are not meant to be side plates, but more like I think you could say a stepping ladder, just to get on the engine itself. Here's my BR Class 08 in white. As you all know, as most of you rail fans know, the Class 08 was known to be Britain's one of Britain's most successful diesels. That's why so many of them were produced. Almost 1,000, in fact. The reason I painted it white was because I just needed some flavor, and also because I didn't really have... I wanted to save up on my green, blue, and black bricks, since I'm running out of black bricks. But white feels nice. At least in my opinion. It kind of looks like a sheep, right? Now moving on to my only 2 narrow gauge engines. Here is another white engine based off the Teleclin Douglas locomotive, which was a Barclay narrow gauge locomotive. And here is a gray tank engine, which has an exposed boiler halfway through. It was based off a red Irish tank engine I saw on Google Images, and for some of you long-time fans, which basically my channel has not existed for a long time at all. Like, we haven't really gone 1 year in. I mean, the modern channel, of course. But if most of you know, I used to have a brown Teleclin Midlander diesel locomotive, which I later scrapped in favor of making the English Electric 040 right there. But that's it for the trains, and now let's move on to the rolling stock. We'll start with the standard gauge rolling stock. Here I have 3 7-plank trucks. They're supposed to be 7-plank trucks, even though they look like they're only 3 planks. But just pretend they're 7-plank trucks. We have 2 white and 1 bluish gray, if we're talking Lego, but like just light gray. We have two of what I call attraction coaches, not based off anything at all, but if you're wondering why one has a pantograph, like I said, go watch my first Engines of England episode. Here is my work in progress shunter's truck. I mean, it used to look better than how it looks right now, but the reason it's supposed to be a shunter's truck is because the Fairgrade and Millington Railway lies on the area of where the Great Western Railway used to reside. I mean, the Great Western Railway still exists today, but like not as a Big Four. Anyways, here's my one little white tanker. It's supposed to resemble anything that a tanker can carry. Maybe something from a brewery, maybe milk, maybe fuel, anything that a tanker would have held in the on the days of British railways. Then you can just add whatever you want in there. It doesn't really matter. Here I have 3 vans, 1 blue cattle van, 2 red regular vans. They're not really meant to be anything, but you could just say they are maybe Great Western vans, because like I said, the Fairgrade and Millington Railway lies on what used to be Great Western property. One has a dark blue roof, and one has a light gray roof. I mean, well spotted for me. Here is my tramway coach, painted orange. I mean, colored orange. And here are 2 miscellaneous trucks that are just meant as maybe holding extra things, maybe as background props. Sometimes you will see them being pulled by the trains, but this one here kind of has some sort of purpose, which is basically a forklift carrier. I don't really know. Here are 2 express coaches in the chocolate and cream livery. Here is my breakdown crane, and here are 2 of the Lego 76423 Hogwarts Express coaches, which I've modified to become Stroudley coaches instead. I will modify the front and back ends, but at this point they're just Stroudley coaches, so who really cares? And that's it for my standard gauge rolling stock. Now for my narrow gauge rolling stock. Here we have 3 wagons. They're not really meant to be anything. They can literally be anything, maybe slate wagons, but I don't really think it's ideal holding slate in these types of wagons, which have very wide openings and lots of gaps. So so I don't think slate could be properly stored here. Here we have a little white tanker, which the base I made by myself, but the tanker itself came from I think Lego 60052, the blue cargo train set, with one of the blue flatbeds having a little octan tanker. You can search it up by yourself, I guess. Here is a little people carrier, I guess. I mean, it's basically a work in progress brake van, or maybe a little cattle van or something. But the narrow gauge railway that situates between the Fairgrade and Millington Railway is mostly industrial, but it won't really be revealed until maybe episode 3 or 4. And here are 2 regular flatbeds. That is kind of it. That is my entire Lego MOC and MOD collection of trains. I mean, that's kind of pretty much it. However, I don't really want to close off the video like this, so I'm just going to show you one more thing, and that is the staff of the Fairgrade and Millington Railway with Mr. Houston himself. Oh God, so I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh,